Decisive game for Cameroon's indomitable Lions, who in a few minutes will play the Blue Sharks of Cape Verde in a decisive World Cup qualifiers in Praia. Well, you know Cape Verde is on top of Group D, just 1 point above the indomitable Lions of Cameroon, who now have their destiny in their own hands, as a win will see them top this group. It's quite competitive in this group, and today, well, the circumstances has definitely obliged us, or has us, to talk about this game. And after that, we'll come back to Cameroon, where we will discuss the national interpolls. It's getting into a decisive phase. The last group game, and Group A and Group B are looking all tight, with each team, or about 6 teams in the different pools, having their chance to make it to the semi-finals. But the semi-finals can only contain 2 teams. How is that going to happen? Well, we're going to discuss that tonight, or we're going to discuss that on the show today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to La PRESSE match right here on Spectrum Television. It's always a pleasure to be in front of your screens to bring you all the sporting updates in our beloved country, Cameroon, and beyond. Today is no exception. I will be having 2 guests, and 2 will be joining me in the course of the program via phone. I start first of all with the lady we have today. It's Ayong Magdel, sports journalist for My Media Prime Television, and always active as well on social media. Ayong, welcome.
Thank you, Ladonette. Thank you for having me once again on Spectrum Television. Of course, it's always a pleasure to be here to talk sports with you and other fine brains that you always invite on your platform. Today is match day. I would like to start by using the opportunity to wish the indomitable Lions all the best. I'm going to say in French, Allez les Lions, because as it stands now, it's a very crucial game, like you mentioned, for Cameroon today. Maximum points needed in this game today, because just yesterday, Libya defeated Eswatini, closing the gap on Cameroon, and they are just 2 points behind group leaders Cape Verde, which means that the group is open. So
very much
Cameroon
open.
needs to beat Cape Verde in order for them to keep their hopes alive of reaching the World Cup, and of course keeping the legacy of being the only African nation to have made it the most number of times. So we'll be expecting the indomitable Lions to do better, even better than they did against Eswatini at home.
Well, we hope they can get the job done in Praia. It's not really a fertile ground for the indomitable Lions of Cameroon, but the situation actually obliges them to get the win. Opposite Magdela Ayong is none other than Kezia Emile, a sports fan, former football player, even though he doesn't want to associate himself as a former footballer again. But he's still here with us. Emile, educationist as well. Welcome.
Thank you, Ladonette. It's a pleasure to be here again once more to talk about the match of Cameroon and to talk about the Cameroon League. It's always a pleasure to come here and be able to share with the public what I have in me, and to also to learn, because we are not only here to give up, but we are also here to learn. So it's a pleasure for me to be here today once more. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. 2 African nations have already qualified for the World Cup, Tunisia and Morocco. And we hope Cameroon as well can toil down that road, hopefully, by God's grace. Every Cameroonian is praying for that at the moment, because in a few minutes, the indomitable Lions will take on Cape Verde in Praia. Well, there you have it, the 2 guests in the stadium, and or the 2 guests in the studio, not the stadium. And we'll have Sonny Armstrong join us all the way from Yaoundé via phone. He's going to tell us about teams in Pool A, how they are faring so far, and the chances of Kumba City, the chances of Mintak, and even Sable de Bati to pick up an L2 ticket. And Kosi Bom Joshua would also join us from Bankomo to tell us about Pool B, how it's faring so far, and if Dream Team do have their chance in this competition. It's going to be an exciting one, ladies and gentlemen. But, we start right here with the elite news, what has been making headlines, but that will be after this transition. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's still La PRESSE match right here on Spectrum Television. And I know those of you sitting on your couch, wherever this program you're watching us from, I'm sure you're asking yourself, what's going to happen with Cameroon's game? Well, it's time for us to talk about that game right now. Cameroon will play Cape Verde in Praia. It will be their 9th appearance on their 9th confrontations, and history has been in favor of the indomitable Lions with 4 wins, as opposed to Cape Verde, who has only won Cameroon 2 times in such qualifiers, be it the Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers or the World Cup qualifiers. And it's been quite a tough one. Cape Verde's 2 win has come from home soil, and we do not know how it's going to fare around or how this match is going to unfold, but this report actually paints a picture of what we will be seeing in a minute ahead. The history books may stand in favor of the indomitable Lions, who have recorded 4 wins from 8 encounters against Cape Verde. However, as Cameroon prepares for this critical World Cup qualifier in Praia, it is the Blue Sharks who hold the upper hand with a 1-point advantage in Group D. The pressure is firmly on the shoulders of the Cameroonian side to deliver a decisive performance. The Lions, led by coach Marc Brice, arrived in the Cape Verdean capital last Friday and have had their final training session by 5 p.m. this Monday. The team is acutely aware of the uphill task before them. Facing a team with a home advantage and a 1-point cushion means Cameroon must be flawless in their approach. It is going to be an important game and difficult because Cape Verde has a good team and we are playing away from home. We believe in ourselves. We are Cameroon. We have a young and talented generation of players. We also have experienced players like myself. We will give in our all to win the match. That is clear. And we believe in ourselves. Despite the challenge, the goal remains victory, even if it is by the smallest of margins. Coach Marc Brice has been resolute in his messaging to the press. We are here to win, he stated in the pre-match press conference, a declaration that echoes the team's determination to reclaim the top spot in the group. The match is more than just a battle for points. It is a test of will. The indomitable Lions are conscious of the expectations of a nation that expects nothing less than a 9th World Cup appearance. Cape Verde on a pod eyes a maiden World Cup alongside the 15,000 spectators who will flock into the stadium on Tuesday at 5 p.m. There you have it. Well, Marc Brice, ahead or aware of the uphill task ahead of him, has actually assured the Cameroonian public that victory will be ours. He was speaking in the pre-match press conference organized on Monday, sitting close to him at 2 avant. Let's take a listen to him.
C'est un match contre numéro 1 et numéro 2. Alors, plus important, c'est pas possible. Alors, c'est pour ça que j'étais fâché, parce qu'on ne peut pas entraîner ici hier. C'était pas prévu. Il n'y a pas un accord concernant ça. C'est dommage. Et maintenant, on est en limité. Au moment que ailleurs il commence l'entraînement, c'est 1 heure et on doit y arrêter. Alors, ça va être très bref ici. Alors, s'il y a encore des questions, essayez de prolonger ça plus court parce qu'autrement, il y a encore 7 minutes et je dois partir. Something that you will quickly will see in 5-6 minutes. The team will be on the pitch, so I think it's not necessary to talk about it. We will see very quickly how the composition will be, but we're here to win, so if this is an answer for you.
L'équipe est très bien, on se prépare pour jouer ce genre de match et on espère donner un meilleur visage demain.
Of course, I think it's not specific because it's Cape Verde. I think we have all the respect against the teams that we have to play against, so it's not different. At home we won, but at home Cape Verde is strong. They're also first in the ranking, so I think we will have to play a good game to win the game. On doit attendre, hein, bien sûr. Il y a 2 jours, on a entraîné. C'était pas un problème pour nous parce que c'était pas grand chose le vent. Mais le climat, ça change très vite. Alors si c'est demain beaucoup plus fort, ça va être un problème. Hein.
Have you listened to Coach Mark Breeze. Young McDell, one question for you. What do you think of the team going forward? I mean, one thing I picked from Coach Mark Breeze is we are here to win, and if we play well, we are going to win.
Definitely. I said it before that if Cameroon make use of the chances, then they are definitely going to win this game. We just need maximum concentration for us to beat Cape Verde. You rightly said that if you look at the history of the two teams, Cameroon has an upper hand, but it has never been an easy job dismantling Cape Verde on their turf. So today is definitely going to be a very difficult match for the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, because Cape Verde, of course, would definitely want to make history as well by qualifying for the World Cup for the first time ever. And as it stands now, they have the advantage because they are 1 point ahead of Cameroon. And the Indomitable Lions, this is not only a game, a crucial match for Cameroon, but it's equally a game of pride. Cameroon will need to defeat Cape Verde to continue that legacy of being the African nation that has made it the most number of times. So yesterday when I watched the press conference, I realized that Coach Mark Breeze, like he said, he's gathering a group of a very solid team of good players that stand what it takes to defeat Cape Verde today. Cape Verde, when you see the likes of Ryan, who is their captain, those are very good players. Though they are not in the biggest stages in the world, international stages in the world, they are very wonderful players, and especially at home they always have that wonderful home advantage. But then the Indomitable Lions too have a good team, and especially with the fact that the likes of Carlos Baleba is back. He's going to play today's game. He will be available for today's game, and it's going to depend on the lineup. I think we're talking backstage, and I heard him mention players that will create more impact if they come in as substitutes, players that will make more impact in this game if they go in as starters, players that would win, especially the midfield. If you realize the last time the midfield, we had a problem with the midfield. Why? Because you saw that the wing of Carlos Baleba somehow was lacking, but that's because Avom plays quite well as an offensive midfielder, and we even saw him score a goal, his first international goal. So today, if we have the likes of Carlos Baleba coming in the midfield, I'm not saying that Avom should not be given a chance. In fact, I would definitely root for him to be given another chance, even if it means Carlos leaving in the second half so that Avom can continue. I think that we need to place our trust in some of these players. And but I think that if Cameroon puts a good lineup against Cote d'Ivoire, we have everything it takes to defeat them and come back home with those 3 points, sit comfortably at the top while waiting for the remaining 2 games to, of course, win and then qualify automatically and not find ourselves in the playoffs or intercontinental playoffs where we have to start looking for the last 10 spot that is allocated for any team. Because at that point in time, it is not just it's not an interconfederation playoffs where an African team or the best in the groups will meet, and then the African team that wins will go. We are talking about playing in the interconfederation playoffs. You leave to go for intercontinental playoffs. What makes you think that those in Europe and Asia will want to leave that spot for you?
Like a pre-World Cup on its own.
It's a very complicated one. So it is best for Cameroon to just qualify automatically as top of the group to avoid the ifs.
Cameroon qualifies as top of the group, but it's a daunting task to actually on the goal or to even engage in. KZ Emile, you look at this game, what changes could we make for these players? Not even changes on the pitch or on the starting lineup, but what changes can we make for these players? Because one thing Young McDell actually highlighted was concentration. Last match, it felt like this team had lost their concentration in the second half or in the dying minutes of the game. What changes can these players make?
Before I start, I would want to say it's going to be a very tough match for Cameroon, but at a certain point, it's going to be very easy for Cameroon.
Okay.
Why am I saying so? Because the Cape Verde team, they might be coming begging for a draw. Because a draw still keep them up and give them the upper hand. So they might be coming begging for a draw, and Cameroon is a must win for us. So this type of match is a match where so many things are involved. Now, one, I would like to say this match, Carlos Baleba should be introduced because he's a progressor. And if you watch the last match, we did not play with a progressor. That is why, if you notice, she spoke about the midfield that was empty. There was nobody there to play was a progressor to carry the ball. Because when you look at last match, Ongla played at the midfield, but he is not a progressor. He is a box-to-box player. So he cannot really play like Baloba, who is a progressor. And
he preferred playing defensive even.
And Baleba is a progressor. He can always cover. He's a progressor. He does not climb. But Ongla and Angisa are box-to-box player. They can run from box. They are always playing from box. But if you realize when Angisa is released, when Carlos Baloba is behind, you realize, I think Angisa gives the best on him. Ongla gives the best on him. Because they are box-to-box player. And Baleba is a progressor. Means he can take from behind and progress with it with them. And can always cover from behind. So I think the coach should think about that. And number two, for me, this match, Abubakar should wait. He should not be a starter, because if you can go to history, you realize that in the past, when Abubakar has been benched, when he comes in the second half, he gives him the best of him. But when you start him with such a match, because it's a very critical match, I bet you he will not be able to give him the best of himself. I would prefer Choupo-Moting to start up front and Abubakar coming in the second half, because one, Abubakar has force. That coming in when the other team is already a little bit tired, with the power and the force, he can create an impact. If you can remember the final against Egypt, when he came in during the second half, he gave him his best. So I think he should not be a starter during this time. I think Choupo-Moting should start and let him come in later. And also come in at the right back. I think Gamalo is a good right back to start at this match, because we will need a lot of crosses into the net so that we can press, because this match we have to press. We don't have to play anything. We have to give in our best and take advantage of every chances of the game. So for me, Abom should wait so that Baleba can play, Angisa and Ongla can play in front, so that you really see the game. Because if Abom have to play and Baleba is being kept on the bench, means we will not have any progressor in the field. And not having a progressor, we are at a disadvantage, because any counter-attack, we are in trouble. But with Baleba as a progressor, he is always there with the counter-attack. He acts as a destroyer. Means when they are constructing the match, he is there to destroy the game, to make sure that they start back again from square zero. And I think if the coach can play like that, I think we can have a good victory.
Well, have a good victory. I mean, we've seen that sometimes when we go out of the base, we normally struggle for draws. Do you think that's a safe option for the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon, in case we cannot get the win coming? Because we know Cape Verde knows that draw puts them in a comfortable position. What do you think?
This match, in the first 20 minutes, Cameroon needs to score. If we are unable to score in the first 20 minutes, that becomes a big trouble for us. Because after 20 minutes, Cape Verde must have read the game and they'll understand the system we are using. And if we have not scored, they might have read and decide, okay, let's pack the bus. And you can understand what it means by packing the bus. When they pack the bus, it becomes very difficult. But in the first 5-10 minutes, Cameroon should do something. Because if we score in the first 5-10 minutes, the game will open. And we'll be forced to score as many as possible. But after the first 20 minutes, if there is no goal for Cameroon, it becomes a trouble for us.
Well, it becomes a trouble for us if there's no goal for Cameroon. I mean, history has shown that Cameroon performs best under pressure.
Especially in the second segment of the game, during the dying minutes of the game.
Bleeder is one of those instances where Cameroon actually performs under pressure. Do you think at this time that can actually work for us? We'll be in front of 15,000 or approximately 15,000 spectators.
Already before entering into that game, we are already under pressure. So I don't know the kind of pressure we should be talking about again, because as it stands now, not only the Indomitable, if we, the fans, are under pressure because we know what is at stake, then it means that the Lions themselves know that they are under pressure. The only problem I have is if they get into this game underestimating Cape Verde, because they defeated Cape Verde at home 4-1. Cameroon has always performed better at home, especially at the Amadou Ahidjo Stadium where they are unbeaten. And they should always understand that the home crowd gives them an advantage. Likewise, Cape Verde, so it's vice versa. Cape Verde also has the advantage. How many Cameroonians are going to be at the stadium? If we are talking about 15,000 approximately, are we sure we are going to have up to 1,000 Cameroonians who will be there to support you? Even if they are, the Cape Verdeans are definitely going to overshadow you, the Cameroonians, Cameroonian fans that would show up to support the Indomitable Lions today. So they need to understand that they do not have the fan base there. They need to understand that everything is at stake in this match. They need to understand that they are under pressure and they need to work under pressure. In fact, they need to adapt that today is a very crucial match, so they have to work under pressure. They have to. The hearts of 30 million Cameroonians are on the line here because of this game, so they need to work under pressure.
I would like to add that the coach has a role to play.
Sure,
he has to play on the psychology of the players, because that is very, very important. If he does not play on the psychology of the player, it is going to be very destructive. Playing on the psychology of the player is not by putting them under pressure, but by making them to see that success is coming. If I remember, I watched a documentation when Manchester United won the 2008 Champions League, and the players, they said before they get into the match, Evra said the coach came to him and remind him where he was coming from, and how he has made progress right up to that level. That is already the success of the Champions League. And when you start playing over their psychology, making them to understand that they are coming from very far, to get there they have already succeeded, means they can still succeed. That already telling the players that they can do it. But if you put them under pressure that you must win, you must win, you must win, there will be a lot of errors. So he has to allow the players to play freely, and he has to play on their psychology, encouraging them and making them feel that they have already made it.
Well, I actually think that he doesn't equally have to pamper them, because he needs to make them understand that they should not go into this game underestimating their opponents.
No, when you say playing over their psychology, it's not actually pampering them. But actually, at a certain point in life, it is not by being hard. At a certain point in life, you need to...
I don't think that when you look at McBreezy, he has ever been hard on those players.
I'm actually tempted. I'm tempted to ask, because when you look at talking of working on the psychology, as what you said, that victory is coming, win is coming. It can also be the same thing the Canadian coach is telling his players. Victory is coming. I see myself in Mexico, Canada, and the USA for the FIFA. For the FIFA World Cup.
You pray to Canadians do not pray to the same God.
I'm not talking about praying to God, but I'm talking about...
I'm just using that as an example.
At a certain point, like as an educationist in class, some children are not good, but you can get the best out of the child in what you are teaching by playing over the psychology of that child. You can play over the psychology before the child realizes the child is already doing what the child did not want to do. So the coach can also play on the psychology, because it's not all the time being hard. Because the public is already hard on the players. Because the tension is on us, the supporters, on us, the Cameroonians, and we are already like, we need a victory. So automatically, the public, the 30,000 Cameroonians, are already putting the players under pressure. Now it is for the coach now to play on their psychology by removing the pressure and the tension from the player and bringing them to be able to play in a very calm and good atmosphere. Okay, well, to close this chapter on Cameroon and Cape Verde, I'll just ask McDell, what do you think the scoreline was going to be at the end of the 90 minutes?
We are getting reports that Andre may not be in goal. It's alleged. It's alleged that Andre may not be in goal. I'm not starting with Andre because I don't consider him the man for one match, one goal. I'm only saying that I'm trying to look at the possibility of us not having some of those players. In fact, to me, it's literally the best goalkeeper Cameroon has as of now. And I'm trying to look at the possibility of players that may not be available for the game. Well, if I have to go straight to the point to predict, I would say, let's look at the 2-goal margin here. Let's say 2-0 to 1.
Okay, 2-0-2-1 is still prediction, a scoreline, and hopefully all the 2-0s and 2-1s is in favor of Cameroon.
Of course,
okay.
in favor of Cameroon.
Casey Emile, what do you say?
I look at a draw game.
Okay.
Yeah, I look at a draw game.
A draw game, like with no goals, virgin time.
I look at a draw game 1-1. Because as she earlier said, Andre will not be there. I support that because emotionally, he's moving to a new club. Emotionally, he is not stable, and I think he should not play. And the truth
is, I'm actually even predicting because I think that the other keepers may not be as good and confident in goal as him, especially this match. I don't think that the other keepers are really emotionally prepared for this match against Cape Verde.
It's not all about emotionally prepared, but
there's so much
how do I look at it? Cameroon, we have the tendency of always conceding, and immediately we score. Most of the times we don't balance. It takes time for Cameroon. But you notice when Cameroon score, if you study their games under Mabrija, when Cameroon score, not long they equalize. It always takes time for us to balance. So it will take a long way, but I see a draw game. I see a draw game.
Okay, viewers at home, what game are you seeing at the end of 90 minutes? Is it going to be in favor of the Indomitable Lions, or the Blue Sharks are going to take the day? Or why not share the spoils and prior? Well, we will want to hear from you, obviously, but that will be in the comment section. Yeah, leave your comments in the comment section and we are going to read all of them. And if not, you catch La Presse for le match next week, Tuesday, where we get to talk about every other thing, including today's game. Now, let's leave the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon and let's come back to Cameroon, where we talk about Panthère. No, we talk about Colombe Sportif Jean Lebo and Aigle Royal de la Ménoire. Well, these are two clubs that will be Cameroon's flag bearers at the CAF competitions. Aigle Royal de la Ménoire will play FC San Pedro at the CAF Cup, while Colombe Sportif Jean Lebo will play none other than ASC Giraffe from Senegal in the CAF Champions League. This side played a virgin tie in a friendly over the weekend. Both sides are sharpening their skills ahead of the CAF Challenge. Well, we got to listen to Coach Wamba Petit Michel, the coach that has come in to guide the Aigle Royal de la Ménoire out of the preliminaries. He talks about the preparations, what the team has been up to, who is integrating so well in the squad, and what the ambitions are. Would also listen to Yemile as he tells us about his preparations overall. Let's take a listen.
La pression pour moi, c'est, j'ai pas de pression, je suis un footballeur né. Je suis né, j'ai joué au football, j'ai entraîné. Actuellement, bon, maintenant on a tout le monde. On a tout le monde en main. Donc les 25 joueurs sont là et on travaille sérieusement. C'est vrai qu'il y a une matière de perturbation parce qu'il y a certains joueurs qui n'ont pas de passeport. Ils sont obligés de partir faire le passeport. Ça fait qu'il y a une interruption, n'est-ce pas, de là par rapport aux autres. C'est juste pour se rester concentré et créer, n'est-ce pas, l'ambiance au sein de l'équipe, créer, n'est-ce pas, l'ambiance entre eux et surtout le staff, que ensemble, comme ça, on a tout le monde en main, on peut parler à tout moment, discuter tactique, discuter même psychologie, s'ils ont les problèmes, ça nous permet de régler ça rapidement. Et parce que quand on travaille et que les gens rentrent chez eux, c'est difficile, on se revoit que le lendemain. Donc quand on est ensemble, ça permet de régler beaucoup de choses. La pression pour moi, c'est, j'ai pas de pression, je suis un footballeur né. Je suis né, j'ai joué au football, j'ai entraîné, j'ai dirigé le football. Donc pour moi, la pression, c'est tout à fait normal. C'est tout à fait normal qu'il y ait la pression quand il y a un résultat. Il faut savoir être au-dessus de cette pression. Et tout ce que les gens demandent, c'est apporter le résultat. Les Ivoiriens, techniquement, sont toujours au-dessus des Camerounais. C'est une équipe très technique, qui est vif et avec des joueurs de petit cabaret. Maintenant, nous avons un mental, nous avons notre force. C'est ça qu'on va utiliser.
Quand je dis à Nadem d'être devant, vous ne pouvez pas avoir la capacité de Nadem. Il est jeune, et moi je connais ses capacités. Quand je dis qu'il soit devant, c'est pour que ceux qui sont un peu, ça, essayez de se le coller à lui. Ça vous aide à progresser.
Moi, je les demande tout simplement d'assister leur équipe. Il faut le matériel, il faut que les joueurs mangent, il faut que les joueurs s'habillent, il faut chausser les joueurs. Donc tout ça, ça demande de l'argent. Et tout ça, ça demande que chacun, n'est-ce pas, participe. Il ne faut pas seulement demander les résultats sans participer. Participer et exiger le résultat. Là, c'est logique. Mais si vous ne participez pas, vous n'avez rien à demander. Tel que je vois mes enfants travailler, moi je suis confiant parce que nous avons quand même fait un bon casting. On a un bon casting, on a un bon groupe. J'espère que maintenant ce qu'il manque, c'est la motivation pour eux-mêmes et la motivation, n'est-ce pas, des supporters dont vous avez fait part. Et s'il y a tous ces ingrédients, tout devrait se passer normalement.
Il y a toute une communauté, la famille, tout le monde est là et on a vraiment besoin toujours de ce deuxième joueur pour pouvoir atteindre les objectifs du club. Bonjour, moi c'est Yimele Eden Créole, attaquant de Aigle Royal de la Mine. Déjà, le club actuellement fait un stage comme celui-ci dans un cadre vraiment spécial. C'est être plus concentré et plus donner le meilleur rendement. Objectif personnel, déjà qualifier mon équipe pour les tours préliminaires et sortir aussi meilleur buteur. Et l'objectif du groupe, c'est déjà traverser les tours préliminaires, comme je l'ai si bien dit tout à l'heure. Parce que si déjà on traverse les tours préliminaires, on fera encore plus grand à la compétition africaine cette année. Déjà, je ne suis pas sous pression. Le visage qu'on a eu montré au playoff, ça c'est maintenant la compétition africaine, comme vous l'avez si bien dit, on en prend encore plus. La pression, et on a besoin de ces 12e joueurs-là. Toujours en train de nous applaudir, nous acclamer, là ça fait encore, on a plus de confiance. Mais là, on n'est pas sous pression. On reste concentré et on va faire de très belles choses. Vous avez vu lors des playoffs, la pancarte pour soutenir tel joueur, et voilà. On avait plusieurs groupes qui viennent nous représenter comme le groupe Kassav. Il y a toute une communauté, la famille, tout le monde est là et on a vraiment besoin toujours de ce 12e joueur pour pouvoir atteindre les objectifs du club. On ne s'entraîne pas seulement le matin, mais on s'entraîne deux fois. La matinée et dans la soirée. Déjà, dans un cadre comme celui-ci, on ne pense que football. On ne pense que football et la vie d'un sportif, quand tu penses uniquement au football, forcément tu auras de bons rendez-vous. Vraiment, un grand merci à tirer au côté de l'administration, maître du Messie Gauthier, président. Et en fait, j'ai dit vraiment merci à toute l'administration qui nous a permis de venir ici faire ce stage et on va leur faire le bon rendement qu'on a toujours eu à faire. Restez connectés sur toutes les chaînes de Aigle Royal de la Mer Noire et on se capte.
There you have it. Well, let's talk about Panthère Sportive Dundee. Cup of Cameroon finalist Panthère Sportive Dundee has announced 3 new signings. Fege Ongba Francois, a centre-back, joins them from Dynamo over Douala. Ibekwe Emmanuel Uzoma, the forward, joins from Heartland FC in Nigeria. And the last but not the least, Epe David Ogbe, a forward from Wiki Tourist in Nigeria. Well, these are the players that Panthère Sportive has announced that will be joining them as they prepare for the Cup of Cameroon finals, still to be announced. Well, Eyong McDell, we see these teams. I mean, Nigeria is becoming, or has always been, a great destination for Cameroonian players to go and play in. Last year, we had Jude Noor that joined the 3rd division side, Grass Runners in Nigeria, and now we have a couple of Nigerians also playing in Cameroon.
Of course, our league, we keep saying it's below standards. Yes, of course, because we expect more to come out from our league in Cameroon, especially given the fact that we have lots of talents. We have great players playing their trade here in different clubs across the national territory, and we are expecting our league to be better, to be a place where players can leave other countries and come apply their trades as well in Cameroon. And we've seen players from neighboring Nigeria already coming to sign with clubs in Cameroon. So it's a good thing, and of course it means it's the pay package we are talking about here, the conditions and everything is favorable, and that is why a player or players from different countries would accept to play football in Cameroon. Of course, we have a players.
Pay package and everything. Okay.
Yes, it could be. Imagine, wait. Why would you come to Cameroon if the pay package is you have something better in Nigeria, and then you decide to come to Cameroon? What's the need? What are you doing here? It's always going to be like that. If it's not better, if you have a better deal, that is the more reason why you may want to leave. Or if the conditions are favorable, that's the reason why you want to leave. But Oni, I'm really not interested in talking about the signings. Permit me to deviate a little from this topic and talk about the branding.
Oh, the image and everything.
I'm not d'accord at all. It's I'm sorry to say, but it's bizarre. Like, what was that? What was that? Why would a club put out their official signing of players for the new season, and the players are looking that shabby. What kind of image is that? It doesn't only tell about the images of the player, but it tells about the club itself. It means the club is not serious. They don't mean business at all. A club like Pante of this magnitude cannot be signing players dressed in slipper. What kind of pants? What kind of pants did they wear? What kind of slippers did they wear? Look at even the background where the pictures were taken. Okay, let's say that Pante does not have a media officer that could take professional pictures. That's okay. But at least the person who takes the picture, the director, cannot at least tell them to look for a better background. That's okay. You are signing a player, you as the head of the marketing committee or the media committee, accepting that player to stand and take an official picture for you to display on the club's page dressed like that. Pante is not serious. They are not, honestly. I would not even want to blame the players, because if I were part of Pante's management, if I were working even as media officer of Pante, I'll tell you, I cannot take pictures of you dressed like that. I did it when I was in Tico United. I've said it countless times on this platform, and I would keep saying it again. If there's one thing I learned from Angu Leslie, is the fact that players should not appear, especially for training, looking enja. I should put it in quotes in French. If you, I think I had players walk up to me several times and say, journalists, you don't get to choose your player the way anytime you can't train, you interview them. I just told that player, the way you start dress right now, interview you, you cannot come. We are trying to rebuild Tico United. We are trying to ensure that we sell our image out there. We are professional. The branding is top notch, and we have decided that we are not going to put out anything less than premium content on our pages. And you are coming for Tico United training wearing Barcelona jersey, wearing Manchester City jersey, and you want me to light my camera on you and interview you? No, bro. Any player who comes looking the way the player is supposed to look in the official club kit, I'll interview the player. And that's why I kept interviewing 1, 2, 3 players every blessed day. And when they realized that I did that for this purpose, they decided to do the right thing. So if I were part of Pante's team, I would definitely tell this player, if the player does not want to, then let the management of the club go ahead and because it is not only about them, but we are equally going to ask, who is the media person? Why would the media person let this image go on their official handle? It means Pante is not serious. It's not serious, and that's a club that almost represented us at the confederation level, the CAF interclub competitions.
Not cutting you short, I would like to say that the other day I watched your Facebook page, how you were crying and saying our clubs are not being sent out to the media, and you were crying and asking how can we do it. One of the things that make Cameroon league to look at as if it is not what it is, it is because our league is not exposed. It's too self-centered, self-concentrated. It's not exposed. You look like big clubs, they don't even have a Facebook page, a media page to even pass on their information and whatsoever. You cannot even, sometimes you try to get an information about a club, you might even be interested, you want to do something, but you cannot get any information. There's no page, there's nothing about that you get on social media you can see about that club. I don't know, how can we sell the players? How can we sell ourselves in Cameroon? I remember back then when I was still playing football, back then in secondary school, we used to go online. We had some pages that we were going there and trying to put our pictures there that we wanted to sell ourselves, put our video where we were playing that we wanted to sell ourselves. Those are ways we need to sell ourselves. If the club doesn't have any media personnel, there is nobody to their matches, sometimes they even play, you are not even aware, nothing about the club.
Which is not correct.
Nothing about even, so tell me, how can we sell the league?
Which is not correct, because we saw before the season started, FECAFOOT outlined laws that you as a club, you are supposed to meet all of those criteria for your club to participate, and one of those criteria was for you to have a media officer. So it means if a club of that magnitude does not have a media officer, it means the club is selfish. Why would you not have a media officer? You're not thinking only about yourself, you're thinking about the images of those players you have in your club.
What am I trying to say? We don't sell in the image. That is why our clubs are poor. Because just imagine if they are playing a match and the PW, they have a Facebook handle page, people are following up. Facebook will definitely give them something for entertaining the people. And this club, they can use their media handling and make a lot of money that can help the club. But in Cameroon, we neglect all of those things. Get to Manchester United, get to Man City, they have their pages that you can get information from there concerning the club, they are signing and whatsoever. When you see them dressed shabbily, it is normal because we are hiding everything.
Normal. I mean,
no, I'm saying normal in the text of Cameroon right now because we hide everything. We don't want to expose things.
Okay, I mean, let's forget about clubs.
Yes.
As you, KZ Emil, you're a teacher. You go to your classroom dressed in turup. You go to your classroom dressed in shorts.
I don't think that we are supposed to look
Because
at
I feel like it's football. It's a career. It's a career, and if you want to sell yourself, you should work on your image. It starts with you.
No, what you're actually saying, I remember I saw a post on Facebook just of recent how somebody, they were comparing the dressing of some players, and when Cameroon carried the recent Nation Cup, they said, but look at how they dress in suits and well presented. But look at now what is going on. So the pro is that there should be a lot of change, and the various clubs should rise up and take the challenge, because I believe if the clubs can start creating social media platforms for the club to pass on the information, they should not only create it, because one thing in Cameroon is we start a good job, at the end we abandon it along the way. We need people who will create and follow it up, and give us information about the club, because sometimes you might feel like you want to do something for a club, you want to really support, but there is no way you can do anything because there's no social media platform, there's no information about the club, and that's how our players cannot be sold out of this country, because there is no way to sell those players. If a team in maybe the US wants a player in a team in Cameroon, and he goes online and you start checking that, how can I see this player? What then? And they will not see anything about the team. No. So it is very important for us to rise up at that level.
Rise up at that level for teams, rise up as well for players, because it's their future. It's their career. I mean, a few weeks back, I've been starting with this campaign and all, on footballers to be on social media, really hammering on that fact, and also dropping tips on TikTok and Facebook as well. And you guys can check out how you can also communicate and not just be on social media. Now, well, let's talk about something else. The AS Hencho Football Academy had an open trial on Thursday, September 4 at the Stade de Tekokam. It had all children or children of all ages came out to try their chance. You never know, they might just be the next footballing talent, the next Samuel Eto'o, the next Roger Millian, why not the next Carlos Baleba. They came out, showed what they knew best, and they will be awaiting the results. Well, this academy will officially launch come October, so it will be an opportunity for them to learn the ropes in football, and why not build or aspire to join the likes of Manchester United, the big clubs that are out there. Or why go far when we have Cotton Sport of Garoua, Dynamo of Douala, Union Sportive, Victoria United, you name it. But let's go see how that trial exercise went on.
On a commencé le 8 août. Vous avez parlé de périple. Le mot n'est pas hasardeux. On a commencé le 8. Ça a été un long périple parce que nous avons parcouru toute la ville de Douala pour essayer de grappiller large et surtout donner une chance à ceux qui sont les plus reculés des zones qui sont plus chaudes, où facilement on peut voir un bon jour. Nous sommes allés les chercher très loin. Et c'est tout ce que nous avons vu dans ces coins cachés qui se sont retrouvés ici aujourd'hui, le 4 septembre, pour parfaire ce qu'ils avaient déjà présenté. Donc en réalité, on n'attendait pas pire. Nous sommes très contents parce que nous avons pu mener cette échéance-là jusqu'au bout. Et aujourd'hui, nous sommes contents que ces enfants soient passés et que chacun donne le meilleur de lui. Le plus dur est à venir parce que nous allons entrer dans le processus maintenant de formation à travers la catégorisation des enfants, les mettre dans leur groupe de valeurs et les suivre progressivement et coller une valeur à chacun et une identité jusqu'à ce qu'ils terminent leur formation au bout de 5 ans.
C'est la première fois que j'assiste à un tel un tel exercice. Donc ma satisfaction est grande parce que à voir le travail qui a été fait, j'ai vu des professionnels à l'œuvre, comment est-ce qu'ils travaillent et je vois que c'est du sérieux. Donc mon souhait c'est que cette initiative aille de l'avant et qu'il fasse rêver ses enfants. Parce que aujourd'hui, vous savez, le football c'est le modèle du vivre ensemble. Et tout jeune aujourd'hui rêve d'être comme toutes les stars internationaux. Donc ma joie est vraiment grande.
Ok, déjà moi je suis l'artiste Kiki F du collectif 1-4. Je suis le parent d'Atin Fumba Audrey Miguel. Donc par rapport à ce concept, à ce projet, je suis très content parce que dès le départ, j'ai eu à avoir des informations à propos. Et j'ai vraiment vu du sérieux. Depuis le premier jour de la détection, j'ai vraiment vu du sérieux et j'ai compris que ce n'est pas une affaire de blague. Et je tiens à dire et à conseiller aux parents que ce n'est pas une arnaque. Vraiment, tous ceux qui ont été ici aujourd'hui au stade Techno Marion, ça a été vraiment, on a tiré un grand chapeau à l'académie, quoi. Donc on espère que les choses vont aller de l'avant. Merci.
Je suis très ému du talent que j'ai vu ici. Je ne savais pas que les enfants avaient du talent comme cela. Et vu la situation qui prévoit dans l'avenir du football camerounais, je suis très fier qu'on a des remplaçants. Moi, en tant qu'ancien footballeur, je me revois dans la peau d'un footballeur en voyant ce que les enfants ont fait cet après-midi.
Je m'appelle Eboa Yango, je suis droite et je voudrais ressembler à Mbappé.
Merci.
Parce que il a un talent naturel et plusieurs clubs veulent l'acheter parce qu'il est très bon au ballon. Et c'est ça qui fait de lui un meilleur joueur.
Bonjour à tous, je m'appelle Joachim Joseph Kiriando. J'ai envie de ressembler à Carl Walker, le défenseur anglais de Fidji. Car il a un bon gabarit et une bonne pointe de vitesse qui me plaît et qui me semble bien.
Je m'appelle Guy Kinder Chinak Sami Angel et je voudrais ressembler à Cristiano Ronaldo parce que moi c'est un recordman. Et il a parcouru tous les clubs que j'aimais. Et aussi, comme tous les gens disent que Messi est fort que lui, non, c'est faux. Ronaldo est fort que Messi.
Je m'appelle bien Ahmed Nanafandé, camerounais, vivant en Allemagne. Ouais, j'ai fait mes débuts dans l'Union de Douala et comme tout jeune dans les coupes taupes, comme tout jeune. Et l'Union de Douala c'était ma seule équipe où j'ai commencé comme cadet et avec des petites présélections seniors et avant de quitter le Cameroun. Le parcours en Allemagne, on a eu beaucoup de chance, pas comme aujourd'hui les jeunes quittent juste pour sortir du Cameroun. On a eu au départ, avant de partir du Cameroun, quelqu'un qui nous a fait des propositions pour la Guinée équatoriale, où j'étais avec mon frère, ami Alex Encho, qui aujourd'hui est promoteur d'une très très grande académie au Cameroun. Et c'est où nous avons fait nos débuts en Guinée équatoriale dans l'équipe du village du président Obiangema, oui, qui s'appelait à l'époque, je ne sais pas si ça existe encore, Mongomo. Oui. Voilà, c'est où nous avons fait nos débuts. J'étais très nourri parce que Alain est resté dans le domaine du foot, déjà qu'avec ses 3 enfants qu'il a pu encadrer lui-même, parce qu'il faut partir de la base, parce qu'il y a des gens, des parents qui donnent les enfants à des encadreurs, mais c'est lui-même Alain qui a pu prendre en charge ses propres enfants, avec tout le temps qui est compris. Aujourd'hui, qui se retrouvent tous les 3 au Bayern de Munich ayant fait des passages dans des équipes professionnelles, des jeunes aussi comme Maïs. Donc c'est un projet très nourri d'Alain et qu'au départ j'ai encouragé quand il me disait moralement. Ouais. Donc c'est lui qui a investi matériellement, physiquement, moralement et tout. Je suis très content parce que, comme j'ai dit en passant, qu'il est resté dans le domaine et rien n'est facile, c'est l'ardeur. Et je sais qu'avec l'ardeur qu'il a toujours eu et avec notre vie rigoureuse qu'on a en Allemagne et la discipline, avec des gens encadrés d'expérience comme vous, ça va aboutir.
You see that, it's the end of the first segment and it's time for us to talk about the games right here on La Presse refait le match, but that will be after this transition. Time to talk the national interpolls right here on La Presse refait le match, only on Spectrum Television. We start first with Pool A, where we have a tight place between Kumba City FC, Sable de Batier, and none other than Mintak du Haut-Sanaga. Well, these three teams have a chance to make it to the semi-finals. However, there are just two spots remaining. Kumba City FC joined top place in Pool A, is unbeaten, needing just a draw in the final match against Mintak to secure a semi-final spot, while Sable de Batier have 7 points and face bottom place Diamang FC in the last day. Well, this has given them obviously a chance to giving them a prime chance to qualify. Mintak du Haut-Sanaga on their own part are on a goal scoring spree. They must beat Kumba City in a do or die clash to keep their semi-final hopes alive. Let's get these reports that talks about their chances, their run so far, and after that we'll get to talk to Sonny Armstrong all the way from Cameroon's political capital as he tells us about the entire balance sheet of the games played in Pool A so far. The drama in Pool A of the National Interpolls has reached a fever pitch, setting the stage for a grandstand finish on the final match day. With three clubs, Kumba City FC, Mintak du Haut-Sanaga and Sable de Batier, vying for the two coveted semi-final spots, the stakes could not be higher. The journey to this point has been a roller coaster of emotions, with each team's run painting a unique picture of their ambition and resilience. Kumba City FC has navigated the group stage with a steely resolve that has seen them remain undefeated. Their campaign began with a decisive 3-1 victory over Diamang FC Yagua on match day 1, with Ventolin Wafu and Gibel Pento Mu showcasing their attacking prowess. A hard-fought 1-0 win against Olympique Meganga on match day 3, sealed by dramatic late winner from Gibel Pento Mu, demonstrated their ability to win ugly and grind out results. Their most recent fixture, a 10-1 draw with title contender Sable de Batier, solidified their top of the table position with 7 points. This unblemished record has put them in a commanding position, with a simple draw being enough to secure a semi-final bet. Sable de Batier, on her part, embarked on their journey with a statement of intent, securing a dominant 2-0 victory over Olympique Meganga on match day 1, with Fifen Abdou and Stéphane Abada finding the back of the net. They continued their strong start with a decisive 2-0 win against Mintak du Haut-Sanaga on match day 2, a result that put them in early control of the group. However, a hard-fought 1-1 draw with Kumba City on match day 4 slightly hampered their perfect momentum, but their 6-point haul from their first 2 matches has kept them firmly in the hunt with 7 points. They now face the ultimate opportunity against a pointless Diamang FC, a golden chance to secure their spot with a victory. Mintak du Haut-Sanaga's campaign has been a tale of immense character and a stunning second-half surge. They suffered a major setback on match day 2, falling to a 2-0 defeat against Sable de Batier. Their loss could have derailed their aspirations, but they bounced back in spectacular fashion. The attacking power was on full display in a high-scoring 6-2 demolition of Diamang FC of Yagua on match day 3, with Ayisi Banabe bagging a hat-trick. They then delivered the masterful performance on match day 4, putting 5 goals past Olympique Meganga in a stunning 5-0 victory. This remarkable turnaround has seen them claw their way back into contention, and with 6 points, they now face the ultimate test against Kumba City in a match that will be a true battle of supremacy. The final day promises to be a dramatic conclusion to Pool A, with Kumba City holding the psychological edge of an undefeated run, Sabre de Bati having the most favorable fixture, and Mintak du Osanaga riding a wave of attacking momentum. With only 2 spots available, the final whistle will not just signal the end of a match, but the beginning of a new chapter for 2 clubs, while the others face the heartbreak of elimination. There you have it. Well, we're told that Sonny Armstrong is on the line. Let's go talk to him. Sonny tells us about the chances of these teams in Pool A, how it has been faring so far, because we've been hearing lots of vehicles with regards to officiating. But let's talk to Sonny Armstrong. Let's get into the national interpolls. It's 1 day left, 1 match day left. What's your impression of all the games played so far?
The level of the competition so far has been good. We've had so many goals. I think we are averaging the 4 goals per match evaluation in the whole competition, because till now we were to add the goals from yesterday. That's 7 plus 44 already. So we are already at 51 goals after 14 games. So we have so many goals. We have good spectacle from both sides on the pitch. So we are into a good competition, and it's true that technically we would have preferred to have more, but we still like what we have from the pitch.
Okay, well, let's focus a little bit on Pool A. It's down to the wire, 3 teams for just 2 spots. Sabre de Batier, we have also Mintak and Kumba City FC. These 3 teams will be playing in the last day. What do you think can make it out of the group?
As it stands, it shows that the vantage point goes on to Sabre de Bati and Kumba City, who played out a very beautiful game yesterday. He ended with a draw through, and the draw puts Sabre de Bati in a better position, because I'm not underestimating or no disrespect to Diamant, but they are the weaker side in the pool looking at their results so far. I think on the final day of play, it would be, let's say, a good ride, not an easy ride, but a good ride for Sabre de Bati against Diamant from Yagua. And the top of tops will be Kumba City playing against Mintak from the center region. It will be a very tough one, because they are 2 very tough sides, very physical sides. Sabre de Bati on 7 points, Mintak on 6 points, and it will be a winner takes it all. A draw will be, or rather, a Kumba City on 7 points. A draw for Kumba City will be a good result on the day, and a win for Mintak will take them through. So, at this point in the competition, I always say this. I always say that the team that wants it more wins on the pitch.
The team that wants it more wins on the pitch, but we've seen that Mintak scores more, in contrast to Kumba City FC. Despite their scoring 3 goals in their first match, we haven't seen them replicate that same feat. Do you think the defense line will be able to ward off Mintak's attacks?
Less, but they concede less too. So we have to consider. We also have to consider that, because if you look through their games, they have been able to score 5 goals. They've conceded just 2, 1 clean sheet. Mintak on the other side, they score so many goals, but they concede less, true, but the type of goals they concede. Because one thing for sure is that the defense of Mintak looks a little bit shaky. We saw them play a 6-2 game against Olympique Menganga, and some persons among the hierarchy of Mintak were not very happy with the players, with the way they considered the 2 goals against Olympique Menganga. And I think that if the technical staff of Kumba City were to go through the tapes and watch videos more of Mintak, they would see some errors that they can pounce on, especially one interesting player at the level of Kumba City is their captain, who's been able to score 3 goals so far. And he's in what they call in French a renard de surface, so he's able to pounce on every
like
occasion.
This.
So it's true that both sides, they're talking about defense, a strong defense against a strong attack. So it will be an interesting one to watch.
Yeah, we've talked about plenty of goals this season. Have there been any player that have actually stood out for you throughout the competition?
Yes, some few players have been able to stand out. We have the veteran Dauda Kamilu. He's been showing the younger ones how it's been done. You know, Dauda Kamilu has an interesting start during this national interpose. He's touched the ball 8 times in 2 games, and he's been able to score 3 goals. And out of those 8 touches, 3 were miscontrolled. So you can imagine if he could actually control some of these balls. So there is also Amit, a winger who plays out with Mintak the Center Trio. He's been able to give 3 assists so far. He's the top assist in the competition. And all the 3 goals scored by Dauda Kamilu were provided by him. There's the captain, Gibel Pinto of Kumba City. He's also been a standout player. And we have Aisi Barnabe of Mintak of the Central Region. He's the top goal scorer so far with 6 goals. Out of all of this, we also have the goalkeeper from Sabo Debati. I mean, yesterday, he's the one who kept them, or who really saved them from the hands of Kumba City. So we've been able to have some standout players out of this national interpose.
Okay, overall, if you look at Pool A and Pool B as one that has watched these different teams, do you think the teams in Pool A stand a chance of making it to the MTN L2?
Pool A looks a little bit tougher than Pool B. That's true, because you have really tough sides. Kumba City, Mintak from the Otsanaga, and also Sabre de Bati. While in Pool B, you have Titanic, that is the standout team in terms of technical, tactical, mental, and physical aspects. You have the guys from Bamenda Dream Team FC, who are using more of their experience. And you also have Mintak, which is also an experience. So the edge comes in from Pool A because they have younger sides which are more technical.
Okay, well, before we leave you, we'll have to ask these questions because we've had some echoes, especially with the match Mintak against Sabe de Bachi, Kumba City as well, with the entire officiating. What's your appraisal of it?
Well, the officiating, it hasn't been top notch, but at some point, some teams apportion their blame on the officiating. I always prefer that teams send their players onto the pitch to play without really talking about the officiating. Yesterday, we saw a match official stop the game because he felt insulted by a player from one of the teams, and we were forced to have a 20-minute stop in the game for it to. That was Mintak against Olympique Menganga, and we also had the incident after Olympique Menganga against Kumba City, where we saw an official being attacked by the fans of Olympique Menganga. One thing I would like to say is, no matter how the officiating may be, we should shun away from hooliganism in our various things, because some of the games are handled very well. Like yesterday, the game between Sabe de Bati and Kumba City, we had very good officiating. The game handled by FIFA referee Gwimbang Aline was one of the best games where we had good officiating, and we could see fans, we could see players, we could see staff come and congratulate the match official. So my final word on this is that match officials should be able to make fans enjoy the game.
Thank you so much. Well, I will end out with your words. The team that is most hungry, if that's it, or wants it more, let them win. All the best to the teams. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, Armstrong.
Thank you too, and a good evening to all your televiewers.
We'll talk about the last games that will be played these. I think it's going to be Thursday or Friday, either of these days. But we have Sable the Batier that will play Diamant FC de Yagua, and we have Kumba City FC against Mintak du Senegal. Well, when Diamant lost to Mintak 2-6, this side say they don't want to leave Oja without having at least 1 point, and they're playing none other than Sabi the Bachi last. Well, let's take a listen to them. This side hasn't won any game since, has been conceding lots of goals, and it's been a horrible one. But the coach tells us it's because it's a young team. They've picked up the vital lessons, and if they make it to the Interpost next year, it's going to be a different face. Let's take a listen to them.
Oui, c'est effectivement terminé pour nous. Nous sommes venus, nous avons appris beaucoup de choses. Comme c'est pour une première fois, nous avons tiré des leçons. Et ce sont des enfants très jeunes. Leur jeunesse, leur naïveté, bon, nous avons joué. Ils ont appris beaucoup de choses aux Interpol. Ils feront mieux peut-être la saison prochaine.
Bon, c'est pas mal. On se sent satisfait parce que c'est notre première fois d'assister à ce championnat. Vraiment, on s'est battu. C'est pas facile pour la première fois. Au début de cette compétition, on brillait, on battait les équipes, mais on ne savait pas, on n'était pas prêts. On ne savait pas ce qui nous attendait ici. Bon, maintenant, on a vu. La prochaine fois, on va se battre pour élever le niveau. Bon, nous avons la confiance, nous avons la ferme conviction qu'on va gagner ce match, le dernier match qui nous reste. On va gagner. Sable Bâti, on les a vus jouer et on a étudié un peu sur eux. On peut toujours remonter le score. On ne peut pas rentrer à les 0 points quand même. On fera de notre meilleur pour gagner 3 points au moins.
Je suis fier d'avoir marqué. On s'est beaucoup battu, mais ça n'a pas donné. L'équipe adverse était au-dessus de nous, malgré notre effort. Mais là, on compte alors doubler l'effort la prochaine fois. On va adopter une stratégie pour les battre. On va trouver une solution pour ça. On sait que ça va battre. Et aussi, c'est une équipe forte. Donc, on ne peut pas dire qu'on doit le gagner, mais on va faire tout possible pour aussi marquer et gagner le dernier match. Donc, on ne peut pas quand même rentrer sans points.
Well, there you have it. It's time for us to go look at this. I mean, it's teams that came in with fan zones. We have teams like Kumba City FC, Sable de Batier that have been animating the stadium, keeping all the fans that have come from far and wide to watch this game, all happy, excited, and joyful. And some scenes that we captured at the CAF Technical Center in Oja is of supporters of Kumba City FC. Let's go take a look. have it. Well, they have been pushing Kumba City FC, and this side might just make it to the semi-finals of the national interpolls. Well, with a captain like Gilbert Pinto that is pushing them 3 goals in 3 games, we might just see them reach the semi-finals. We never can tell. But now, I'm actually interested in hearing what you have to say, Emil and Magdel, on Pool A. We have Mintak, Duo Sanaga, Sable de Batier, and Kumba City FC. Just 2 sports remaining. What do you think about that? Here's Emil. I'll start with you.
I see Kumba City.
Kumba City what?
Yes, taking the lead and moving forward. And
who is it going to be? Kumba City and Sable de Batier, Kumba City and Mintak?
Kumba City will beat all of them. And
no, I mean 2 teams, because these are the 3 teams. Yeah. The last game is going to be Sable de Batier against Diamant FC de Yagua and Kumba City against Mintak.
No, Kumba City is going to beat Mintak, and Sable will beat the Yagua people, even though they are saying that they must have a 3 point. But at a certain point, football is round. The team from Yagua can actually beat Sable de Batier, because when you look at their face, they are determined that they cannot go back empty-handed. So Sable de Batier is in serious problem.
Well, I want to ask you a question.
Yes.
I mean, you're a player, or you're a former player, right? I want that experience to actually shine forth. Diamant, this is the first time taking part in this competition, and many of their players is their first time. Many of them as well are young, and they say they've not had the experience, reasons why they've conceded such goals building up to this last game.
Yeah.
Do you think with the games that they have played before, like the games in prior days, they may have been able to pick up that experience that they need to create something against Sable de Batier?
Yeah, every match gives you an experience. Every game gives you an experience, gives you a new test, tell you how the game is being run, because the game that has been played at Division 1 is not the same game that has been played at Division 2. That is why you realize that the players of Division 1, they are different from the players of Division 2. So when you get there, you get the experience, because right now, if they have played 2-3 games, they have had a lot of experience that the 4th game might be something different, because now they now understand that, okay, this is the system of play, this is the tactic. Maybe they are, because they are used to, maybe they are used to playing in Jaguar, and they are playing the boring type of football, and now they come down, they realize that it's very swift. So from the first game, they realized it was swift. They keep up. The second game, they realized it was more. The 3rd game, now the 4th game, they will pick up. And I think they're going to pick up very badly. And if Sable de Batier does not tie their belt very well, it's going to be difficult for them.
Okay, what do you think about Pool A, the standing so far, Magdel?
It's a tight one. It's a very tough one as well, because we see Sable de Batier who came into this competition as favorite, and so far they've been proving that they are favorites. Tight level on points with Kumba City. I would definitely root for Kumba City. I would definitely want the representative of the Southwest region to move past the group stage.
Is it because you're from the Southwest? I just want to ask.
The truth is, I'm not going to refuse that fact, but of course, just like I was rooting for Dream Team FC, I would definitely root for Kumba City. I have so much respect for Sable de Batier, because they've been very consistent since from last year, when they came into the competition but were eventually eliminated. I've had so much respect for Sable, because every year they produce a very fine team. But of course, at this point in time, it's just like saying I would not want Dream Team and Kumba City if they qualify to meet themselves in the semi-final. So I'm rooting for Kumba City. I would definitely want them to make it past the group stage, and of course bring back an early ticket to the Southwest region, especially because we've had Isosa drop. So we definitely need another team to climb up.
Okay, well, the chances are in their hands. Sable de Batier will play Diamant FC de Yagua. I mean, last year they could not qualify for the national interpolls, but this year they are here, and they stand a chance of making it to the semi-finals if they play their cards right. And
you know, Sable de Batier, they have an upper hand because they have played the Elite 1 sometime behind, and they have played the Elite 2.
But it's not the same generation, though.
Even not the same generation, experience. Yes, whatever experience means, the leaders of the club, they already understand what it means, what it takes. It might not be the same generation, but the leaders of the club already understand what it needs and what it takes to Push forward. That's why, if you notice, as she said, they have always been coming every year with a very good team. Means the leaders, they understand what it takes.
No, last year they could not make it to the national interpol.
That's what I'm saying, that they understand what it takes, the finances and everything it takes to move to, to take the ticket to Elite 2. So I believe they can do something better.
Okay, we'll see how it goes. Let's talk about Pool B. Interesting fixtures. Dream Team FC from Bamenda has qualified to the semi-finals, while the side defeated Mintak du Septembre. Actually, you know, I mean, now I'm just waiting for the last day because it's going to be fire. Mintak against none other than Titanic FC Sama. It's going to be chef kiss. The game is going to be one for the books. But Dream Team FC on 9 points, short of a semi-final place in Pool B. Well, this side that lost to Titanic FC Sama a day prior actually had a good run, defeating none other than Mintak du Septembre 3-1. A very close call. Mintak had taken the lead, but Dream Team came back, equalized, and got the winners. Got 2 goals to seal their win. We will join Kosi all the way from Bankomo, telling us what has been happening, the chances in this poll. Hello, Kosi. Let's go take a listen. Good evening, Kosi. How are you?
Good evening. Fine.
Okay, well, Kosi, the National Interpolls is drawing closer to its end, and Pool B is looking stiff. We talk of the likes of Mintak, we talk of the likes of Titanic FC Sama and Dream Team FC. Those are the teams that have actually made an impact in Pool B. Given an overview, or let's take an overview on that group, what do you think about the group so far and the game that they've been able to produce in previous match days?
You know, it's a group that since day one has produced a lot of spectacle and has also led fans to talk of a group that can see the qualifiers known on the last day. I mean, you know, with Dream Team not winning their third game, it left the option open that, I mean, winning on the last day for Dream Team would have seen them qualify immediately, because with 9 points, and knowing that with Foca food competitions, it's always a head-to-head advantage with respect to qualification in case where both teams are tied with points. So I must say Dream Team had a slip on that one, but obviously they have stood the test of time, playing 3, winning 2, and I mean, losing 1. Titanic Sama 2 has proved that they are a tough side. Mintak the Septembre have also proved that they are a tough side. For Previer de Boloa, it's also a tough side, though they haven't gone the way they wanted, because they faced 2 top opponents. AS Tungong, when you watch them play, they have a very good group, but then the results are not also what they want. So, I mean, Pool B had exciting participants, but then when we eventually see the top 2 of the team, we will know that they are big boys among big boys.
Big boys among big boys. Well, Titanic FC Sama has quite a young players, and they currently sit top of the poll. Do you see them going all the way, and why not clinching one of the 2 tickets available for Elite 2?
You know, Titanic Sama, when I watched them against Dream Team, the first half, everyone present on the pitch knew that Dream Team was going to have a tough time. Titanic Sama very good with the ball on their feet, confident lads. I mean, there was some point where they would go with the ball for a minute or 2 without Dream Team having a feel of it. And then in the second half, Dream Team came into the game. I mean, they stepped up their pressing, they did better. But then in the 81st minute, it was always going to be that moment. And eventually we saw Titanic Sama steal the show. And it is 2-on-2 for them.
Then a Dream Team, I mean, we talk about a team that has ex-players that have played the highest or the summit of Cameroon football. Gibero, that has been fantastic. I mean, it's just one of them. The keeper as well. When you look at the squad or the quality you have in that squad, do you believe that they can still go all the way and make it to the last 4?
You know, I had an interview with Jurel, and he told me since the start of the league, they didn't just come to play football. They came to win games. And that is the mentality that has pushed them through this far. And when you look at the final of the Northwest Regional League Mini Interpol, Option Sports had the best game I have ever seen. But as Jibero said, they were out to win every game. And every game they take as a final. And I must say we've seen that at the National Interpools, where every game they play against PVA Boloa, they were out to win. PVA Boloa is a tough side too, but Dream Team stood the test of time. Against IS Tungong, the same thing. Against Titanic Sama, I mean, they showed up, but eventually, lack of concentration in the last quarter of the game saw Titanic Sama see the show. And I must say, Dream Team, their experience has been their key factor, because looking at, I mean, when you look at the play, it is a side that is not, I mean, there are about 3 players you can talk of youthful exuberance like Ticha Peruda, you're talking of Tala, you're talking of Clinton, but then their experience, as you said, a host, I mean, over 15 players have played elite football, and we've seen the experience pay off for them on several occasions.
Talk about experience. Well, let's talk about Mintak du Septembre. They do have an experienced player as well in their ranks, Kamilu. Tell us this side, how far have you seen them, or what appraisal do you have of what they've been able to produce?
You know, that is one of the things that stopping them is very difficult, because they have youthful players that are giving in their best, and then the experienced players, they're also delivering. You know, the first game when Kamulu came on, I think he scored the winner when they won 3-2. I think it was against PVA. Kamulu came onto the pitch and he touched 5 balls, and among those 5, do you know what happened? He scored a header, a winner. So that is what it means. He knows where to be and when to deliver. I mean, against Tungong again, he delivered 2. That is what Minta went for. Experienced players that can bring the impact when they need it. So playing against Minta Septembre, you have to cut your loins and be ready for a full fight.
Well, be ready for a full fight. Well, these two may not have anything to lose. However, I guess pride is on the line. EPV de Boloa and AS Tungong, they haven't been able to win any games. 0 points, sitting 4th and 5th place in Pool B. Yes. Moving forward, do you think these are teams that we should look up to or look forward to in future competitions?
You know, first of all, just coming to the National Interpools tells a lot of a project you had. But then when you come, football is not only about what you play on the pitch, it is also about your preparation, it is also about the mobilization, it is also about administrative, I mean, there's a lot at stake. So I still see these teams, if they keep up with what they have been doing, obviously, they will in the future still do better.
Do better in the future, and I'm tempted to ask, between Pool A and Pool B, who do you think stand the greatest chance of making it to the MTN Elite 2 Championship?
I think yesterday, while at the Feka Food Center in Oja, I watched the game between Mintak de la Haute Sanaga against Olympique Menganga. Mintak de la Haute Sanaga received 2 red cards, but eventually manned up and won by 5-0, which means they are a side. I mean, they have a host of former elite players. De la Haute Sanaga too, so it's a very tough team. And then when you look at, Sable Rebati, mobilization they have, administrative-wise they are there, player-wise they are there. I mean, the man who even assisted Abada's goal yesterday against Kumba City was former PWD and former Racing player. So it is a very solid pool too. Kumba City also has, some very fine youthful players. And when you look at their captain, Gilbert Bento, he scored in 3 games. He scored the equalizer against Sable. He scored the winner against, I think that was Olympique Menganga. So in terms of a team, both pools are showing up. Both pools are showing up.
Okay, thank you so much. Both pools are showing up, but it's only 2 places left, so it's quite a competitive one. Thank you so much, Kosi. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, Oni, and it's always a pleasure to be on board with you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Kosi Kosibom Joshua, all the way from Cameroon's political capital, Yaoundé. Well, last words, Kosi said it's going to be a tough one between Pool A and Pool B. No one can tell who is going to grab the 2 tickets to Cameroon's second tier, the L2 championship. But I want to start with you, KZ Emil. What do you think about Pool B? Dream team already or certain of a qualification?
Yeah, that is already a booster to them. That is the booster to them. Automatically, they are already boosted, because qualifying normally without having any shaking, any problem, direct qualification already give them some level of confidence, some level of booster that they know where they are going to.
Just to add that they are off on the last day.
And they are off on the last day. That will help them to prepare, to take time to analyze the past games and to prepare well for the semi-finals.
Well, Magdel, what do you think about Group B? The people that are in contention, Dream Team FC, already secured or assured of the next place or the next round of the competition, the semi-finals, Mintak, and none other than Littoral Region's champions, Titanic FC Sama.
Well, congratulations, first thing first, to Dream Team FC for becoming the first team to qualify to the semi-finals of the 2025 National Interpose, and I will definitely want to see Mintak de Septembre, representatives from the Northwest, from the North region, I beg your pardon, to qualify second. Oh, not second, to qualify as well, because on the last day we didn't know anything can happen. They could overtake the Northwest regional representatives, maybe on goal difference, because they've lost their match today. And remember, Dream Team equally lost one match. And I would want to see Mintak de Septembre to still through, at least for the sake of Camilo Dauda, 37-year-old who comes out of retirement because he wants to help a team from the region, and not a regional league team to qualify. So you can imagine this is a very experienced player. In fact, he's a legend when it comes to Cameroon football. A very experienced player who has played straight with the likes of Coton Sport of Garoua, has even been captain of the team, one-time captain of the team, if I'm not mistaken. And then he decides to come out of retirement to play regional league football with a team that is trying to look for a ticket to Elite 2, even if they do not get the ticket, because of course we are trying to see other teams climb, we are rooting for other teams climb. I would really want to see Camilo Dauda's team make it past the group stage in Group B, especially for the fact that he has been so instrumental in all their games. He has scored 3 goals so far and has contributed in all 3 games they've played, except for today's game. He has contributed in all 3 games, haven't scored in all those games, so, or rather in 2 of those games. So I would really like to see Camilo Dauda continue the competition and not leave the competition early, because we would definitely want to see good football, especially when it comes to the experience. And I like the fact that the coach knows how and when to use him. He never starts since the competition started. He has not come in as a starter. He always comes in as a substitute, and he makes a difference. As a substitute, you get 2 goals. It's wonderful and applaudable. So I really want to see Mintak join Dream Team FC.
Yeah, well, he not a starter, and he has been given lots of contribution. So we say it's going to be actually an exciting one, this mini interpolls, and I think everybody that has worked hard, or everyone's playing is working hard and putting their best foot forward. Thank you so much, KZ Emil, for honoring our invite. Well, let's go continue the Indomitable Lions match. I mean, it's crazy out there in Praia, but we'll continue that game, and maybe in our next subsequent edition to get to talk about that game. But we know it's quite crazy in Praia. I guess it's time for us to go continue that match on the Indomitable Lions. Magdel?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me, Oni, and I'm wishing the Lions all the best. I mean, maximum 3 points out there in Cape Verde, and I'm really so happy when I saw the lineup Mark Brice has put up against Cape Verde. So as it stands, we are ready to roll.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's how we saw it. I love PRESSE for the match right here on Spectrum Television. Have a blissful night in the company of our programs. Allez les Lions, all the best, the Indomitable Lions.
Perfecto.